Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. Today we'll be talking about integration, but this time definite integration. In the last week, we studied how to integrate anything without having a limit here. So let me refresh your mind. How do we integrate 2x dx? You will have to say 2x to the power 2, you add up the power 2 divided by 2, and we used to say plus c, and this will cancel out. So at the end of it, this will be simply x squared plus c. That's called indefinite. If I want to make this integral definite, then I have to have a lower limit and an upper limit. Alright? And if I want to have lower limit, upper limit, no more constant of c. So it's going to go from 2 to minus 2. So I'm going to evaluate that integral under these limits. For example, some people say, but why do I need to know that? Think about it. You're having a straight line, and this straight line like this. How can I find this area from negative 2 until 2? Simply, you are looking for the area under the curve, or the area bounded, and this one. Those two areas should add up to a number. Could be 10 square meters, 10, 12, 7.8. If it's below negative, it's above negative, but area can be positive. That's going to be our next discussion, which is called an application. Right now, we need to evaluate this expression. So, how can we evaluate this definite integral? First of all, we integrate it, and then we put the limits from the lower limit to upper limit. Then we substitute the first one at the top. We substitute the big number first in here minus the second number, the lower number, in that function, in that integrated idea. So 2 squared is 4, and minus 2 squared is a 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. In general, a value of a function could be 0, could be negative, could be positive. When we go to understand the meaning of that, then that will be a different idea. All right? How about if I change the limits of this one, okay? And let's say if it goes from negative 2 to 3, just for a change. So if I put this from negative 2 to 3, I change the limits, then I have to change the limit here from negative 2 to 3. All right? Then just substitute. Start with the first one first. This is called from x1 equals negative 2 all the way x2 equals 3. So take from the bigger, then minus the smaller. The upper minus the lower. So what do I put here? 3. What do I put there? Let's say stays negative 2. So what are the answers? 3 squared is 9, and negative 2 squared is a 4, and 9 minus 4 is a 5. Okay, gentlemen? That's the basic thing you need to know. Now, there's nothing else to do other than we should be able to integrate in order to substitute. So let's find out how we do that. How can we simplify this? There is more than one way to do it. One of the ways you need to do, probably, divide this by that, and divide this by this. This is another way to simplify. You don't like it, you would like it very soon. So what is 1 over square of x? Take the square root to the top, it's going to be x power minus half. This is half. What is 1 minus half? It's x to the power half. Now, my target is to integrate this one. How do we integrate this one? Remember, plus 1 divided by itself. So what is minus half plus 1? It's a half. Half divided by what? By half. 1 over 2, which means 2 over 1. Minus. What is integration of x power half? We add 1. What's half plus 1? 3 over 2. To the power 3 over 2 over 3 over 2, we put it here. No need to show me that. And my limits, if they were given to me, such as this question, from 1 to 4, then I'm going to go and plug in from x equals 1 to x equals 4. Now your turn is to substitute. So we're going to substitute 4 in everything first. 2 times 4 to the power half minus 2 over 3, 4 to the power 3 over 2. That's the first thing. Minus, you're going to plug the 1. 2 times 1 squared, 2 times 1 to the power half, minus 2/3, 1 to the power 3 over 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's use calculator or use our brains. What is 4 to the power half? 2. Square root times 2 is a 4. What is the square root of 4? 2. 2 cubed, 8. 8 times 2, 16 over 3. One to the power half is 1 times 2 is a 2. 1 to the power of that one is the same, it's a minus 2/3. Okay, guys? Sorry. 2 over 3. Now, go to your calculator, subtract that, and then subtract them from each other, and then you will end up with one simple answer. The answer I've got is minus 8 over 3. I hope I'm not wrong. So the value of this function from 1 to 4 is negative 8 over 3. You can double check that by doing it on your own. Later on, I'll show you a trick how to do that by calculator. But not now. So, let's take more functions to evaluate, all right? How about taking something with sine, cosine, tangent? Number 3. Ready? 3 sine 2x minus 2 cosine 3. dx. I need to integrate this and then find this value, okay, when you go from 0 all the way to pi over 2. This time we're going to put pi over 2. There's a radius. That's nice. So what's the integration of sine? Sine, cosine derivative, and the cosine is minus. Okay, so it's a minus 3 cosine 2x. The derivative 2x is a 2. Now think about it if you don't know this. Chapter 8a. Minus 2, the derivative, the integration of cosine is sine 3x. The derivative 3x is a 3. All the way from 0 to pi over 2. These are the limits. So, your turn. Plug in the numbers. Negative 3 over 2 cosine pi over 2 times 2 is a pi. Minus 2/3 pi over 2 times 3 sine 3 pi over 2. Now we plug everything with respect to the top first. Then the second, minus. Let's substitute this real. Cosine 0 is 1 times 3 over 2. Sine 0 is 0 times all of that is 0. So let's find out what one. What's cosine pi? I remember these things because I'm teaching math 1. Cosine pi is a negative 1 and 0. So it's a negative 1 times 3 over 2, simply 3 over 2. You can use your calculator, use your radio mode. Now, what is sine 3 pi over 2? That's the one. The sign here, 0, negative 1. Negative 1. Because cosine is sine. So negative 1 times negative is a plus. Minus times minus, it's a plus. 3 over 2 plus 3 over 2 is a 3. 3 plus 2/3. What does it mean? It means 3 and 2/3. 9 and 2, 11 over 3. That's exact. Alright? So you can always do any of these by using your calculator or you can use your brain. It depends which one works faster. I have no problem. I love these things, so I can do it by myself. Alright, gentlemen. So I'm looking at worksheet 8b and I'm solving the questions that are in the page that says solve the following. Let's take one more example. How about 1 minus 2x to the power 2? And I want to integrate that. That's question number 4. And my limits here are from 0 to 3. Okay. Remember, do not expand this one. And I taught you a way to do it. What is the best way? If the power 2 or 3 or 4 or half or minus 7, whatever, simply the integration of this, add 1 divided by itself. And the derivative of 1 minus 2, it's a linear only, it's -2. All of that from 0 to 3. I could have simplified that, if you wish. 2 times -3 or 3 times -3 is -1/6. Get it out. And then leave the 1 minus 2x to the power 3. Make life easy. Let it work for your side. So there's no need to keep the -1/6 inside. It's a constant. It's not going to affect the answer. So this is -1/6. You're going to substitute everything with the 3, then everything with the 0, and subtract and times by 1/6. 1 minus, look, 1 minus 2 times the 3 cubed. All right? Minus 1 minus 2 times 0 cubed. So what's 3 cubed? Did I substitute right? It's from 0 to 3. Yeah, I'm right. 3 cubed is 27 times 2. That's a good one. 3 cubed. All right, 27. What's 27 times 2? 54. 1 minus 54, it's a minus 53. Yeah. 2 squared, 0 cubed times 2, 2 and 1. 1 minus 1 is it's a -1. This much, you times it by 1/6. So -53, all right, -53, and -1, -54. When you times it by 1/6, simply you can use your calculator. And negative times negative is a positive, and 54 divided by 6, yay, it's a 9. So the answer for that function could be a weight of something, could be a volume of something, could be a moment of inertia, could be an area of something. All right? As I told you, you still can use a calculator to do these answers, so there's no need to do it like me, unless you enjoy playing with numbers. Why can't we have one more question? For fun. Okay, these are one of the revision questions at the end of the sheet. This is called question number 30. It's 3/x, where the integration of from -4 to -1 dx. Who remember the integration of 1/x? You don't, right? We'll take this one out. So what's integration 1/x? It's a ln x, remember? But you have a 3 out. You can leave the 3 out, this far, and then go from -4 to -1. Why do you think I chose from the small to the big? Why I chose it to be negative? The beautiful thing about ln, that anything you put inside, it will be positive. So, you go with the bigger number first. So what's the ln of -1? Actually, it's a ln 1 minus. What is the ln of -4? It's a ln 4. Those two, whatever the answer, times it by 3. And guess what? The value of ln 1 is 0, and that was minus ln 4. And when you times it by 3, the final answer is, and if you are good, I didn't say you're good or bad, you can take this one over there. It will be ln 4 to the power -3. And guess what? This means 1/4 cubed. And this means ln 1/64. People don't like that. I know, but it's okay. Call it revision of logs. You can never get away from logs, my friend. Logs is everywhere. Ln, exponential. Why do you think we taught you in Math 1? Why do you think we taught you how to integrate it? Because you will need it. مو على كيفكم. Let's look at number 34 of that 3e to the power of x, and you want to integrate this from negative 1 and 0 dx. What is the integration of e to the power of x? You're so lucky. It's the same. But if I have here 5, if I have a 5, so the integration of it the same, and the derivative of the top is a 5. Remember that one. I am looking for a question without a 5, so let me stick to it. So the integration of that is the same from negative 1 to 0. And let's plug in the numbers. Okay, minus 3e to the power minus 1. What is e power 0? 1 times 3. 8 minus 1. If you wish, you can leave it like that. I'm extremely happy. You can use a calculator if you want. Alright, gentlemen? So that's how much you can use integration to find the value of such event. Let's do a last question, please. Question number 37. I want to integrate minus cosecant squared x dx from pi over 4 all the way up to 2 pi over 3. Okay? How many of you remember what's integration of minus cosecant squared? Actually, the question, it's in negative 2 cosecant squared. I don't remember that. I will go and look up this one. These are the rules we need to use. I can't memorize them. I don't care about memory. It's there for me. So the integration of cosecant squared is there. It's a minus cotangent x. Don't forget, I have a minus 2 here. Everything from pi over 4 all the way to pi over 3. May I simplify that? Yes, sure. Negative negative is a 2 cotangent x. I can leave it this way. Some people write that way. Some people write it this way. So which is better? It doesn't matter. You can leave the 2 out. You can leave the 2 inside. Also, it doesn't matter. Let's substitute the big number first. 2 times cotangent 2 pi over 3. This much first minus 2 cotangent pi over 4. And guess what? We don't have the calculus, something called cotangent. So what do we have? We have tangent. Aha. Cotangent is 1 over tangent. So you can look up tangent 2 pi over 3, and the 2 stay on the top. Minus 2. And then tangent pi over 4. I can go to the calculator and find out. No problem. Shouldn't be any problem. No need to convert to radius. It's already there. So you just have to use it. So 2 divided by tangent, what? 2 pi divided by 3. Close the bracket. The answer of that is 54. Wow. Point roughly 7. And then 2 divided by tangent, 45, which is 1, I think. But let's double check that. Not exactly. Something strange. Oh, yes, it is true. 145.9. And when you subtract them, you get an answer. Okay, I can go to tangent, radian 4, then do that again. Tangent, 2 pi over 3, 2 pi divided by 3, 2 divided by answer. Actually, I was using the wrong mode. This is 2 square root of 3 over 3 negative. And when you go for that one, because I know tangent 45 is 1, I don't know what's going on here. So I realized there must be a mistake. Because pi over 180, pi over 2 is 90, pi over 4 is 45. And pi over 45, if you notice, this is equal, so it's 1. So let me double check. Is it true that tangent pi over 4? It's a 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So now what do you need to do? Subtract those 2. Alright? So 2 square root of 3 divided by 3 minus 2. The final answer is minus 6 minus 2 square root 3 over 3. You can leave the answer exact as you wish, or you can use your calculator. So what I can notice here, whenever you have radians, my advice, go to shift mode 4. It will convert the calculator for you into radians. Don't leave it in degrees. In here, there's no degrees or angles. Don't worry about it. So you have two options. Use calculator normally, and if you have something in radians, like pi, move your calculator to radians. That's the best first option. Otherwise, you will struggle. All right? It looks like we have enough, and we just finished chapter 4, chapter 8b. This is the practice you need to make. Make sure what's the rule. The rule is when you integrate, hopefully you should know how to integrate. Then when you plug in the number, plug in the first one at the top, which is the bigger number. All right? Divide, and then minus the number. If you have any problem, use a calculator. Use it wisely. Have a nice day.